All right, we are live again, finishing out the weekend strong, talking to writer director Brian Dorton and actor Douglas Post Jr. We're going to be talking early morning calm. So why don't you guys let us know a little bit about this movie? Let the people know. I guess Brian would be the best to start with since you wrote it and you're directing it, right?
Correct. So the synopsis is the movie takes place in the 80s, and we have someone joining us.
That's one of my friends.
Oh, okay. So it takes place in the 80s, and it's about a family, a mother, her son, and his daughter, and they're going to spread the ashes of the grandfather, who had recently passed away, obviously, and they run into trouble and they end up at a farmhouse full of this deranged cannibal family, and it's just we're hoping to amp up the gore and the kills in this, and so I feel like it's going to be pretty unique because we are paying real close attention to the time period, and every shot is going to be just so because of that. You can't do certain pan shots, and you might accidentally get something that you don't want to get on screen, that shouldn't be there. So every single shot is going to be so specific for this one. It's usually like pretty close to that anyway, but I just feel like this is going to be really, really tight and specific to make sure that the time period is,
Stays the same. We don't go
done
out of the
correct.
time period.
Yeah, we want to, I mean, I've bought, so many props and clothes and just so much stuff for the film already.
I like the thought of
So
it just because we don't have to use cell phones in the movie, and like finally things without cell
yeah,
phones that don't have to
well,
ruin horror films.
that was when I started writing. I was like, gosh, it's an indie film, so it's low budget. So I wasn't really thinking about, making it a different time period because that's obviously going to cost more money. But I didn't want to have, like he said, the whole cell phone dynamic in the movie. I wanted to take that completely out. And so I was like, well, let's do it in my favorite decade, the 80s.
The
So,
greatest time to watch horror movies and the greatest period, I think, to shoot a movie and write a script
I
around.
think
Just
I
had the perfect balance back in the day with, technology not being too much where
mhm.
you really have to try to compensate for all the technology, cell phones, this and that, and
and
Yeah.
you still have
yeah
old school. So you got a little
our
bit of everything.
our
Yeah.
gore is going to be basically practical effects. We're not going to do any CGI.
Yeah,
Um,
it's all gonna be practical. I don't do any CGI in any of my films.
so it's going to be basically like I said, as he said, old school.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if you've
CGI.
seen any of the horror movies I've done so far, but I don't mess with any CGI. Like I've had, some people approach me and say, "Hey, I do really cool computer effects," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not James Cameron, so I'm not gonna need you because we don't do that shit in these type of movies."
Guys, I'm going to tell you, I am Kevin Nicholson. I'm from the Grim and Bloody Show podcast, and Douglas, invited me in on this. I'm telling you, we are psyched for your film.
Well, it's
We
really
are,
good to hear. I'm glad to
we
hear
are
it.
well, and we're psyched because we talk about CGI, and essentially, none of us on our podcast are real fans of it. There's times when it's done very well,
Hmm.
and usually with a very large budget, but so often it is used as a crutch, and it's used with a small budget which means it looks awful to begin with.
Yeah.
And you do so much more with practical effects, and I am just loving that you are emphasizing that, and you're emphasizing 80s,
Yeah.
80s,
Well,
horror. So that's
getting
just even better.
getting the horror iconic legend Lynn Lowry is also an ultimate pleasure to get as well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if all these people have known her, but she was in Cat People and Shivers,
Of course.
and she was in the Crazies from the '70s. I think she was in the 2010 one.
And I Drink Your Blood. I Drink Your
Blood.
Blood's like one of my favorites that she was in.
And we're so psyched to be getting her. We were supposed to think about getting Tom Matthews, but we were thinking about more of, I guess, budgeting, because we,
Yeah.
Tom Matthews would be fantastic if you
he
if you could have.
I did talk to him and everything, and he's very busy when we are going to be filming the movie. So
that's
that was pretty much why. I mean, I felt like if we had Tom Matthews and Lynn Lowry, I feel like the campaign would have
Michael Berryman.
done well, and we would have been able to pay them fine. I wasn't stressing about that, but we ended up getting a good actor. His name's Lucas Dunaway, and he was in Wolf Hollow and a movie called Dark Circles. These are movies that are new, and they're either coming out or they may be streaming or something. I'm not sure, but Lynn was also in Wolf Hollow. That's how I connected with Lucas Dunaway, because they worked together on that film, and I was like, I was talking to her, and then it was kind of funny because I asked her, I was like, because Lucas, he befriended me on social media, and he like congratulated me for getting Lynn, and offered his services and stuff, because he's also a producer and some other things, he does quite a few things for film. But hang on one second. But I said to Lynn, I was talking to her on the phone, which is something I never thought I would say out loud. I was talking to Lynn Lowry on the phone, but here we are. But I was like, do you think Lucas could play like a traditional father role? Because he's like, well, he's 40 years old, but he looks like he's in his 20s. So I met with him and we had lunch, and he said he would grow his gray beard out, and that would help him look older and stuff for the part. So yeah, I'm real excited to work with both of them. They're both going to be leads in the movie, along with Douglas and me, and I think there's 2 other leads. There's about I would consider the movie to there are about 6 people that have about an even amount of screen time, and those would be like the main roles in the film.
Very cool, man. It sounds like I've Lynn Lowry on my friends list. I've spoken to her briefly, but she's been really, really busy in the indie community. I think it's really awesome. It's cool you guys were able to reach out to her and she was on board. Unfortunate about Tom Matthews. I've met him a bunch of times. Super cool dude. But having Lynn on board, she's fantastic. So congratulations picking her up.
We're talking about adding a gas station scene in the film as well.
Yeah, because we're gonna add some. When we do our Indiegogo or our GoFundMe, whichever one we end up doing, because we do have the Kickstarter up, and it's about 50% there. We are almost we're 50% to our goal, about right, Doug?
Yes.
And but Lucas suggested we do a GoFundMe or an Indiegogo, because whichever one allows you to keep the money even if you don't reach the goal, he suggested we go ahead and do that as well. And that way, whatever funds we do generate off that one, we will get to put towards the movie. I mean, and I've already spent more than what the Kickstarter's made, I mean, we don't even have that money yet. So
We're
lots
close.
of preparing for this one. I feel like I am doing a lot more work in the pre-production with this film than I have in the past. I mean, I always, I'm always prepared, but it seems like there's a lot more to this just because of that 80s time period, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, I'm pulling up James Shaver here. He's here. I think somebody was saying because Facebook's not showing up. Lynn Lowry was their acting coach back in the late 80s, early 90s. I didn't know she was an acting coach too, but that's super cool. Jimmy Presley's here. Fingers crossed for all you. You got this. And James Shaver here, talented mask maker, and he's killing it out there. He's been doing some nice pieces. His Cocaine Bear was pretty cool too. So and Michael Toth, my artist for Doomsday's Krypt. You see all his work. He designed all that. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. And we're talking tonight with Brian Dorton, Douglas Post, and we have a guest co-host, Kevin Nicholson from Grim and Gory show podcast. And
Grim
we're
and
talking
Bloody podcast, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Grim and Bloody podcast. Excuse me. Live in the Krypt, and we're talking early morning calm. So this campaign is not an Indiegogo campaign. It is a Kickstarter campaign, and we kind of touched on that. So Brian, what made you go with the everybody know what you made you go with the Kickstarter over Indiegogo, and what your plans are with that?
Well, I don't really 100% remember why Douglas made the Kickstarter. And we had initially planned on talking to a strategist, which we're going to do for the Indiegogo or, the other GoFundMe or whatever, whichever one we get. We are going to talk to a strategist on, what to do to achieve, more funding. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I want to see what they say and see if I'm even close, but I'm not really sure. So
Brian, you want to mention the 15% off or the 24-hour to get 2 copies of was it Crazy Fat Ethel?
Oh yeah, right now I posted a status on Facebook. 2 of the films that I did, Crazy Fat Ethel in 2016 and Truly Madly in 2020. They're both horror films, both with practical effects and blood and everything. Crazy Fat Ethel is very bloody. It's a remake of Criminally Insane from the 70s. I don't know if y'all have seen that. Have any of y'all heard of Crazy Fat Ethel?
I
loved
not.
it, actually loved it. And
Yeah,
one of the reasons why I saw it was because of it being similar to Criminally Insane, which is one of the goriest films that you'll see. It's a lot of fun. That's what you have with Crazy Fat Ethel.
Yeah, I reached out to Nick Millard, who has since passed away. I don't know if you all know Nick Millard. He wrote and directed Criminally Insane, the original film that features Crazy Fat Ethel. And I reached out to him, I think it was 2011, and told him that I was interested in doing another film with the Crazy Fat Ethel character. And to rewind a little bit, I reached out to the company that distributed the DVD for Criminally Insane and asked them to give my information to Nick Millard. And then I just left it at that and kind of forgot about it because I didn't really think I'd hear anything. And about 2 weeks later, I was asleep and my phone woke me up, and usually I don't even pay attention to it when I'm asleep, but for some reason I reached over there and grabbed it, and it was a strange number, which again I usually don't pick up for, but for some reason I did. And I was like, hello, and he said, this is Nick Millard. And I said, who? because I was half asleep. And he was like, Nick Millard, the producer and director of Criminally Insane. And I was like awake at that point because I knew what this call was. And I was like, so I basically told him, how much we loved Criminally Insane and how we wanted to bring a updated version of the film for like new horror audiences. And, we talked for about an hour when we came, to a deal. And the movie didn't get made right away because we were funding and trying to find the perfect actress to play Ethel, which ended up being Dixie Gers. And so the film ended up coming out in 2016. Rue Morgue did a review on it in their magazine and gave it a good review. And what makes me most happy is when people from, that have seen the original Criminally Insane, and like I'll get a message on social media and they'll say, "Hey, I saw Crazy Fat Ethel and I thought it was really good." It was it seems like such a companion piece now to the 70s film, and they say they love it so much, and that's what I was going for. I wanted to please the fans of the original movie more than anything. Because Douglas Connor, there's another Douglas in our little film group. Is Douglas Connor? He does cinematography and editing. He's also an actor. He's actually seen Cocaine Bear tonight. That's why he's not, here. But him and I, we're the ones that did all that with the Crazy Fat Ethel thing, and so far it is I feel like it's my most popular film.
So
The horror
the Horror Freak.
Network might be a close second.
$15 gets you Crazy Fat Ethel and
right.
Truly Madly.
Yeah, what he was saying is I posted a status on my Facebook. Right now, if you donate $15, just a mere $15 to our Kickstarter campaign, I'm shipping out copies of Crazy Fat Ethel and Truly Madly. You get both of those movies for $15. So these are stamped, pressed discs. They're not bootlegs or burns or anything. They're very nice.
Brian, want me to see if I have a copy of it so you don't have to get up so that I can want me to show it just to make sure?
Do you have both movies?
I think one of them's in a storage box. I have one of them in here.
Okay. Yeah, you can show them if you want.
Definitely, just continue talking. I'm getting it.
Yeah, so this is another project that you're working on. What's the filming schedule like? Do you have that worked out? Do you have the locations, or are you just trying to raise the money so you can start scouting the locations and start filming?
That's a good question there, because we actually start filming in April, and we have Lynn Lowry for April 10th to April 17th. So we have her for 7 days, and that's a pretty big chunk of what we're going to be filming. We're going to be filming all through April, but it's going to be, I don't want to say hectic because I feel like everything's going to go smooth, but there's going to be some long hours, 12-hour days from the 10th to the 17th. So a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue in the film. There's a lot of it takes a long time to prep to do a kill too. For yeah.
So this is the copy.
That's Truly Madly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Crazy Fat Ethel?
It's in the bin somewhere. It's in the bottom bin. But
cool.
So my plan for us was to I'm gonna move out there so that I don't have to worry about any other, filming, issues. And
Douglas is actually moving to Kentucky. He's actually making a life change here in the next few weeks. You lived in Colorado your whole life?
Yep, 25 years.
That's a long time.
And
But
Yeah,
well,
I like
see,
how go ahead. Oh, sorry.
see,
Didn't mean
I'm
to cut you off.
he Doug's 25 and I'm almost 50, so I'm like I'm old enough to be his dad.
no.
But yeah. Anyway, we're going to be playing brothers in the movie. If you know the poster, Doug is the tall bunny on the poster in the middle, and then I'm the heavy set chubby bunny. And then there's a lady, her name is Belinda Peace, who is playing the she's a newcomer. She's playing the little female bunny.
Oh, very cool. So there's 3 bunnies in total, or
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, there's going to be 3 bunnies, and I actually just realized I have both of these here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I didn't have to dig him out now. Jeez, Brian, if you had him next to you, you should just brought him up.
I actually looked over and I was like, oh, there's 2 of these sitting over here.
But
Okay, the next donation is coming from me. I need to get copies of those.
I know
That,
two of
well,
them are basically gone.
Well,
the access. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say, Kevin, keep in
Yeah.
mind it's $15 or more, so you don't just have to donate 15.
No, that's fine. Oh, okay.
He's trying to nudge you a little bit, Nick.
Yeah, I'm pushing a little.
So you're saying if I could add 3 or 4 zeros to that, you know,
How about
3,000
zeros?
3,000 will be perfect. You got about 3,000?
yeah, if I wish I did. I wish I did. But
when I posted my status for
John's over there thinking I might as well just tip him over $4,000 right now.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
He's a millionaire over there.
He signed a check. Yeah, multi-millionaire. You know?
See,
you look at my new mic and camera, you go, this guy's got to be swinging that big bucks there.
You know,
3,000, does that include a date with Douglas or something like that? You know,
you have the microphone. You're important, right? That means you got a bunch of money, right?
Yeah, big bucks.
We're actually looking for a. I think I talked to you, John, about a table, and you mentioned KryptCon in Denver.
Yeah. I think they're all. I mean, I'm not sure if Denver's still open with tables. I know they've been selling out of tables like crazy.
Like
I know Kansas City, and was it Scarefest? You said was sold out. One of the events you said.
One of them. Scarefest is not sold out. They're expensive.
Yeah, they are.
And $500 for a non-vendor table. I think it's like a booth. It's like $650 in a certain little area. Yeah, I understand what Brian.
I feel like they should just invite me as a guest. I mean,
make you feel welcome.
Come on now. No, but what I was gonna say is on the
Port Freak, you just click. It's gonna say $10 or more. It's like a no rewards kind of thing. You just type in what amount you want to put in. Would that be one of those?
That's my good friend the Fluke Horror Freak 85. Check out his channel out there.
You should be able to just to type in $15 in the Kickstarter. If not,
or more.
Don't forget
to or more.
Or more. Apparently,
to get a date with Douglas though, how many zeros do you have to put in? To get a date with Douglas or a date with you, Brian.
Date with both of us. I'm free. But a date with Brian up there. He's
what happens on this date? That depends on the zeros.
No problem.
Dinner. It'd be I just say pizza, beer, and a horror movie marathon.
Oh, that's free.
Okay.
Now Brian likes his feet licked, so that might cost a little extra.
Okay, okay.
John's over there just like I need my vomit bag over here.
I stay out of that one. Maybe they'll dress up in the bunny suits for you. I don't know. I mean. I guess whatever you got to do to make that money, and I what do they call them? Furries. So I
have very pretty
feet.
Can
really bank off of that.
I know, right?
Raise that Kickstarter, so you guys would be good.
Brian, did you want to mention that there's a good chance that about maybe a sequel, maybe not? I don't know.
Well, that's a good thing to bring up. I when writing the script, I didn't. Oh gosh, I can't say that. It would be it would be a spoiler.
Should I just mention that there may or may
There
not
may
be
be a sequel. Let's just leave it at that.
So anyone
But if
who
I tell you, I feel like if I explain anything, that it could
It
be a
ruins everything.
spoiler for
let's just
people that are
say
going to
that
see the
anyone who
movie.
orders the masks, if you don't get them straight away, it's just because we're going to be probably using them for a sequel. So don't sweat it; you'll still get the masks. It's just
Oh
going to be
yeah.
used for the film.
Well, that was one of our perks. We had the 3 masks. You could get $100 donation. You would get a screen used mask, and
Signed by all of us.
so all 3 of those have been taken though. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Masks are usually collectibles, and
Well,
somebody
yeah.
can snatch them up for $100.
Well, there's
Um,
actually going to be 4 bunny masks in the movie. One of them's actually going to be on a scarecrow though. So you never know what mask you're actually going to get until it arrives.
and we'll make sure that it is signed by us, so you're not totally
Well,
gypped out of it.
Well, the signing's optional. Some people don't like their
Sure.
shit signed, I've learned. A lot of people do, but some people just like to keep it pristine. Some people are like that with movies too. They don't want their covers written all over. So
I usually like to get my stuff signed inside on certain things. Like on a mask, I'll have them signed on the inside. I mean, certain things I'll have signed on the outside. Save like even my Part 6 Hawk that's signed by CJ Graham over there. I got it signed on the forehead. And you don't tell CJ Graham where to sign. He signs it wherever the hell he wants.
I've actually met him. Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a ball buster, but he's funny as hell. Just talk about Michael Myers with him. He loves to talk Michael Myers. Big fan.
I met
somebody. Yeah, I was at the last event he was at, and I wasn't vending at this one. It was like a few weeks back, and somebody put their boyfriend on the phone or something, and they're like, "Yeah, he's going to meet James Jude Courtney next," and it was pretty funny. He did a whole clip for the dude to show James Jude Courtney busting on Michael Myers. So there's a little animosity. There could be some sort of potential on a James Jude Courtney versus CJ Graham, Michael Myers, and a Part 6 Jason face-off. That could be a pretty brutal battle.
I know when I went to Monsterpalooza, the guy that was supposed to be with us didn't his plane didn't arrive till late. And his plane didn't arrive till Saturday. But Friday, when we got to see there, we got to see Reggie Bannister, which was only like a Friday. And I was like, who I'm gonna call my friend up and have him talk to Reggie over the phone kind of thing, so that he didn't feel left out. I bought him a signed autograph. He felt very happy. He was sad that he didn't get to meet him in person, but I gave him something even special, and that was got to talk to him over the phone. Reggie's wife is nice. She gave me her contact information. I can contact her anytime. I know Reggie's still in a new movie now. He's also got apparently dementia too.
Oh no, that sucks.
But he's still alive and kicking.
That's actually what when Nick Millard died, it was dementia. Yeah, I mean, well, and I knew something was up because me and him, we used to talk all the time, and it's just like he slowly started to get like real mean. Like I know he couldn't help it because he didn't know, at
Dementia will do that to you.
sometimes you have your good days, and sometimes you have your bad days, and sometimes I could tell. I'd be like, I didn't know he had dementia though. I was like, God, why is he being so mean? And then, but I'm in touch with his daughter, Valerie Millard. She actually gave to our campaign about a week ago. And she's the one that told me, that, well, I saw that he passed away because they posted it. but I was friends with her, so I kind of messaged her to ask, what happened, and give her my
Regards.
yeah. So yeah, that's what she told me, and I was kind of like, damn, I I wish I knew, because he was acting very different there in like the last year or so. So, but yeah, I mean, I just didn't even think about it. I knew he was like, you know, near 90 or something, 90 years old, but I didn't really think, what the
Oh,
what the
Steven has pledged.
possibilities were,
Oh, whoever Steven isn't here. Thanks for donating 15.
That's the Flug.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
Horror Freak 85.
So Brian, remember that so that you can ship his DVDs out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I would like
Yeah,
people to message me on social media, or put that note into Kickstarter,
got it.
so that we can get a hold of you, or you can get a hold of us, so that we can get those mailing addresses.
My messenger's always open in case Brian doesn't answer. I usually, once I send it to him, he gets it as well. So my messenger's always open. Whoever donates, mailing address, I can send it to him. He ships out your movies.
I can verify that Douglas's messenger is always open, because mine is too, and I'll get a message from him at like 2 in the morning, because I'm a night guy. 2 in the morning.
You're an
saying,
owl.
What's
You're
up?
a night owl.
What's up, Kev? What's going on? And I'm like, does this guy ever sleep?
Shut up. I'm like John over there. I'm a night owl. I sleep in the morning. I'm up at night.
That's right.
I'm up all the time. I mean, I just tend to be more awake when I'm up at night. I mean, like I'll be tired in the morning, but I'm always on the go. But I usually only require a few hours.
Now, I don't know about a lot of people in here, but I know very recently I've been having trouble sleeping, and the time is very off. And when I don't sleep, like yesterday, I had to drive to my friend's house because we had a discussion, and I told him, I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm sorry. I can't say, and there's nothing that really can change my mind right now. There's nothing here for me anymore. And when I was driving back, I was so tired. I was almost swerving on the road. That was literally how bad my sleeping habits have been. So trying to get back on a schedule is going to be difficult. So I don't know.
I actually have a question. Is there a way I can see like the chat of what people saying?
Yeah, it should be up
Brian,
there on your right.
If you see the thing that says more, then click.
Do I click comments?
Yeah, and you just, when you're done using the comments, you click the X in the corner.
So I'm just seeing it. I have a column that says private chat and comments, and then I just click on comments.
I got them now. I just hadn't hit comments. It says private chat or comments, and it was on private chat.
Kevin, but just curious, don't you ever sleep?
No.
No, that sounds about right.
Because I'm always writing. I'm always doing, stuff. I got, I do a lot of writing for a couple of magazines and so forth, and we do the podcast and so forth. And I'm kind of the de facto cast or programming person for our podcast. And so I'm getting all kinds of emails and messages from people, even like at 2 in the morning, dealing with stuff. So I sleep with, just whenever. Yeah, basically.
I know, when I'm not messaging Brian, though, I usually I play some riffs on the bass guitar, so that because I know everyone's usually busy. I can't really go hold of, a lot of people.
I hope you're not playing bass in the middle of the night.
I try to keep the neighbors next door awake after what they did to me. They kept me up. They literally
put the speaker right on the wall.
It is. It's like right there. And this part is their babies next door in this side, and they're next to that side. And
so I see Headless Cat Productions commented. That's Dixie Gers, who played Ethel in Crazy Fat Ethel. She said it was like he had mood swings. She's talking about Nick Millard there at the end. Yeah, because she was in touch with him as well, and also saw his post, which we're getting a little strange there towards the end as well.
I was friends with Ted V. Michaels, and I don't know if a lot of people know that, but he was a producer on a movie back in the 70s called The Worm Eaters.
And Astro Zombies. Come on. You know.
Yep. I was friends with him, and he sent me a signed autograph for The Worm Eaters. And, me and him used to talk a lot over the years. And, and what was it, 2016, 2015, found out that he passed away. And I was heartbroken by it because, he was one of the people I could talk to. And, he understood how, how everything's going and how life is kind of thing. And, he kind of makes everything better. And, it's kind of like Brian is the same way. Brian he's an amazing director. He's a good writer. He gives good dances, by the way. No.
Wait, good Brian, come on now, show us one. Come on. Oh, he got cut.
He must have gotten a boot. I didn't boot him out. I swear. No,
John,
he probably lost connection. It's easy to accidentally leave StreamYard. That's the one downfall to it. I know, especially on a phone, if you accidentally hit the wrong button, you go all the way out, and it's just such a pain in the ass. I'm sure I'll be back.
Are you John? Is that your?
Yeah, I'm John.
I love your background. I love your background.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
anyone that has Arnie in the background.
That's signed by Robert Patrick too.
You see.
I met him at Scarefest. Yeah, Robert Patrick signed that. That's all work. Most of those. The art is by Michael Toth, who's here. Like, he designed the three-eyed demon off a picture of me. And then Lonnie McCullum produces the Freddies and that Chatterer, and he does that Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's amazing talent.
I don't know. Technical difficulty, I guess. I'm back.
That's what happens when you're at the age of almost 50. When you get to the age of 50, then you don't know what you're doing on a cell phone.
Right. I didn't even have to touch it.
It's your face that threw it off.
Right. It was like
I got to see some dance moves, man. Douglas said, "Did you do dance? You do a dance? Come on, let's see some dance moves."
Actually, I can dance pretty good, but there's really no room right here. There's a wall.
Come on.
I'm serious.
You have to throw them extra like $100 just for him to do that. Trust me.
Okay.
But funny story. Since you mentioned dancing, I did say when I shared this podcast, I said that I would be on the show with tassels on my nipples.
That's my fault.
See if we could get a few extra freaks.
I think I'd pay $100 just to see that.
John's like, I don't know what I've got myself into these days. I think I'm retiring.
Tassels or the propellers, propellers.
No, actually, I think Brian's really good at doing the Wednesday dance.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason I actually do have tassels. The reason I have the tassels up is because I have the Showgirls box set, and it came with a picture of Elizabeth Berkley naked and a blindfold where you could it was like pin the tail on the donkey, but you stick the tassel on the nipples.
Kevin's
it was.
Really,
I've not used it because I'm keeping it in good condition and everything, so I haven't used it. But it did come with shot glasses and I think a deck of cards too.
Headless Cat Productions says, "I've got videos of Brian dancing. 25 donations per video."
Oh my God, she does. She does. She's got some embarrassing shit.
Douglas, I'm gonna tell you my show, or the show that I co-host, we get worse than this. So this is all
mild.
This is all good. I love it. I love it.
It sucks because I know I was thinking about it. I don't know whose favorite movie is Texas Massacre, the original.
It's not my favorite movie, but it's up there. It's one of the great movies of all time. It's really the start of the slashers. Michael Myers gets a lot of the credit for it, but Leatherface was the original.
I've always
the
wanted
original
to meet
mask wearer in a sense.
Well, I always say the slasher one got the start for me. Black Christmas was Bob Clark.
Oh, and Margot Kidder
and John Saxon. Yeah, and that's a great one. Texas Chainsaw is it's not my favorite. It's kind of up there, but it's a little nihilistic for
mine
me.
has to be,
but it's up there.
What?
Mine's before 70s. Mine like black and white has to be Nosferatu.
That's well before 70s. Yeah,
Well,
And,
which version are you talking about? The 20s version?
The black and white one from like the silent era.
Yeah.
That one always creeped me as a kid.
There's another Nosferatu. It might have been 70s. I don't know.
79. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Klaus Kinski, I think, was you're talking about the Werner Herzog, version of it. But I'm with me. My go-to horror is always King Kong.
King Kong.
I go back to
Boo! Wait, which one?
33, the original.
Okay, I was about to say, if you're gonna say Peter Jackson,
you know what? I'm one of the ones. I really do like the Peter Jackson one too.
Yeah. Oh, I guess this person, Facebook user, I think that's the one that you said that didn't have like his name on there, but I guess he likes Chappie. I like the Chopping Mall.
I'm not a big Chopping Mall fan. I was expecting people to be getting chopped up that were like shoppers. Some psycho going through the mall, chopping people up with a machete, and I got robots. I got robots, so I was like,
yeah,
it wasn't what I was hoping.
It's because that Chopping Mall had a different name. I think it was called Chopping. It's called the Robot Kill or something like that. It had a different name on it.
They should have kept that name.
But it didn't.
Chopping Mall sounds like something just absolutely fantastic.
So what's your guys' favorite 80s slashers?
Maniac.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a movie.
I'm not 100% sure that this would be counted as a slasher, but a movie that always creeped me out when I was younger.
Harry Potter?
No, I'm talking about when I was a kid. Harry Potter came out when I was like in my 20s or something.
Monster Squad?
No. Night of the Demons. The original Night of the Demons used to scare the shit out of me when I was young. That demon makeup and the lipstick scene where she sticks the lipstick in her nipple, and that movie, when you're like 13 and you're sitting in front of the TV at 4 a.m., that's pretty scary.
No, it's weird. The first movie I ever saw as a kid was Night of the Living Dead 1968. The second movie I saw was a movie that it was the dumbest movie ever, and I regret watching it because if you look carefully, it's mostly just rubber masks. But it was called Revenge of the Living Dead Girls.
Never seen it.
And if you like the cheesy B horror films, then go right ahead and watch it. But you could tell, was it Day of the Dead from the 80s? I can understand like how some of them wore masks and some of them had makeup because they had 300 people, 400 people in that film, and you're
supposed to have your background people in like the mask, from far away where you can't really tell.
And you got their 3 people.
I know that's what they did in like some of George A. Romero's movies. The people that were like 20 feet away from the camera, they had like, their makeup or their masks were not as good as the people that they used close up.
I'm telling you guys got to check out one of my favorite 80s slasher, Visiting Hours, and with Michael Ironside as one of the craziest sick fuck psychopaths that you could ever have.
There's a movie called Cape Fear.
I've heard of that movie, visiting
William,
hours.
William Shatner, like Lee
Yeah.
Grant's in it, and it's really good cast. But there's some bloody kills that are in it. And like I said, Michael Ironside creeps the fuck out of me every time.
Yeah, I'm up for some bloody kills.
Yeah.
The most recent movie I watched, it's weird because I didn't watch a horror movie last night. I tried to. I was watching a little bit of The Barn. But I was like, I'm in the mood for something a little different, a little more action. So I sat down and watched this 2008 movie called Conspiracy with Val Kilmer. And it's got the guy from The Office Space who played Bill Lumbar in it. And if you like Rambo kind of things, then that kind of movie's for you. If you're into that kind of stuff.
Rambo, yeah.
Then you like Conspiracy.
That newer Rambo, one of those newer Rambo movies was pretty bloody.
The Last Blood.
Is that what it was?
No, the one before, the second to last one. When he's on the boat and stuff, and I know which one. Not the last one wasn't that bloody. The one before was pretty bloody.
My favorite has
just
to be
called Rambo.
My favorite has to be the first.
Yeah.
I was mad about one of them because I think that in the book, I think it might have been the second where Stallone stabs the table. In the book, they have the officer crapping his pants, and in the movie, they took that out. I think it made him the movie much more interesting.
I watched this one last night. That was actually a couple nights ago. That was The Price We Pay, which is Ryuhei Kitamura's one of his latest films. Guy did Godzilla Final Wars and did Midnight Meat Train.
You mentioned Midnight Meat Train to me, Kevin.
Yeah,
you mentioned that. And Ted Raimi's in there.
I liked a lot of Midnight Meat Train, but there was some CGI in there that I was a little disappointed with. But
sounds like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, but he makes up for it with his practical effects, that are done. I see you on the CGI.
Now I don't know if John remembers this movie because he's an old man over there. Do you remember an old 80s movie called? Do you remember an old 80s movie called Intruder? With Sam Raimi.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I know I watched it back in the 80s. I watched almost anything at the video store because I'd watch everything at least 2-3 times.
That was my favorite film.
What was the original title? Wholesale Slaughterhouse or something.
And but Ted Raimi was actually not a lot of people know that when Evil Dead came out with Ted Raimi and Sam Raimi, there was actually a movie before that they did in college, and it wasn't a very long. It was like a 20-minute movie. I can't remember what it was called. I think I told you, Brian, at one point. I might have posted in the group, but it's a before Evil Dead. But the cabin was take place in a college dorm. Yeah, that's about right. College dorm.
Don't remember.
I know they shot like a short or like a tester kind of movie before it. That was Evil Dead before Evil Dead. I haven't had a chance to see it. I've always wanted to see it, and I ran into it one time. It's one of those things I saved for later, and then I forgot to go back to it because it seemed interesting. But even Evil Dead 1's kind of like a remake of Evil Dead 2. I mean, Evil Dead 2 is a remake of Evil Dead 1.
I have Voodoo, and one of the movies I have on there was Evil Dead 2. And I felt bad because I showed my girlfriend Evil Dead 2, and she's never seen the first one. So I was like, let's just skip the first one and let's just watch the second one because I don't have the first one anymore.
A lot of people say that Part 2 is just a remake with a bigger budget.
Part 2 is funny, but there's a part in Part 2 where Ted Raimi. Now, I don't know if people know this, but Ted Raimi's all. Do you remember that part where Ted Raimi comes out of the, I think the attic, I'm guessing, and he's all flying and stuff around the room?
Is he like Henrietta?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right, John?
Henrietta.
Yeah. I know.
There's
exactly
a part.
Yeah,
I used to have the action figure of Henrietta. I think my dog knocked it off the shelf and chewed it up a long time ago.
Now, if you look very closely in the film,
mad about that.
You can see Ted Raimi's bare butt in the movie because I guess the suit ripped. And they
I'm sure when this is over, we're all gonna rush and pause it on that.
No, it's already worse. What you told me about Horror Network at the very end.
But I think that's what's fun about Evil Dead 1 and 2 is one's a more darker tone and the other one's a little more light and a comedic. And I like both. I love both of them. I love our Army of
Yeah,
Darkness too.
definitely.
And
Well, that's like
Ash
See,
vs.
that's my
Evil Dead
favorite.
was great.
Army of Darkness, because it combines,
Yeah.
I think, the dark element and the light. It really does it well. That's a lot
Well,
of fun.
I've learned a lot of things. Every movie that has a part 2 sucked. And I've learned that because there's a lot of people that say that, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 sucked. Texas Massacre
Oh.
2 was worse. I'm trying to think of Leprechaun 2 was apparently horrible.
Well, they may be not as good as the original, but I wouldn't say they suck.
Well, I didn't know if anyone remembers this 90s classic called Uncle Sam. And it's a William Lustig movie back in, I think, the 90s. And it had, what's his name? Isaac Hayes in it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was written by the guy who directed the stuff.
Classic movie, by the way.
Why can't I think of his?
But apparently, like that movie was weird. I mean, it was good for its time period. That movie I think was way too forgotten. I don't think that if we gave that movie a chance in the theaters, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that probably would want to see it, especially those like slasher fans that would want to see it. Like I saw, I don't really consider this a horror movie unless it's called Jurassic Park. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, I've seen so many in theaters that it's like I didn't realize at the time how great they'd be, like memories. Even the ones I didn't like at the time, and it actually would like them now more than I did watching them in the theaters. It's a great experience of it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about how Jurassic Park, like it's weird because they keep about Jurassic World, and I don't know about a lot of people, but I'm not a huge Jurassic World fan. I liked it when it was just basically Jurassic Park. I thought that had more of an ideal fate to it. Jeff Goldblum's character, I don't think he was in not the new one. I don't think he was in the one before that.
He's in the new one though.
He was in the one before that. He did like a courtroom scene for like 2 seconds in the beginning of the movie.
But like Jeff Goldblum's character was amazing in Jurassic Park. And what's his name? I can't remember his name. It always dawns on me. It's the old guy, the one that creates the dinosaurs.
I'm glad nobody noticed what just happened.
I saw you were looking outside.
Letting your cat in, huh?
What else?
Brian, didn't they make a movie about you called Under the Rainbow?
No, it's Over the Rainbow.
No, there's literally. Didn't you ever see the movie Under the Rainbow? Z Pearl is in Z River.
No, but apparently it was about you.
Damn.
Because you're the one that knows about it.
Damn.
But anyway, I was sitting here, listening, and I heard a bang on the window. My cat, jumps up on the screen, and so I had to. Actually, he's been out there for 2 hours.
That poor cat.
So you're a cat daddy.
I usually check on him. Yeah, I have 2 cats, but there's 3 cats that live here.
I have one that's right behind me sleeping. So, but
no cats for me. I don't have any animals. I just don't have time. I love animals too, but I just don't have time for one.
That's what you need.
That's why you need a cat, because they're very low.
Well, I work 24/7, so I'm never. Yeah.
Well, you only work 24/7.
Your cat would be very mad at you.
Oh yeah, I just don't have time. Yeah, I like other people's animals. It's kind of like kids now. I enjoy seeing them. I just don't. Just not at the point where I haven't got time for one. Just so busy lately in life.
It's so weird because after my dog passed away, I messaged Monsterpalooza for California, Pasadena. I go, hey, how are you? I told them I appreciated the time that we had. Like last year when we met Tim Curry and Matthew Lillard, and I told him the incident happened up there. And she goes, it's understandable. Don't worry about it. People can be like that. And she goes, is that your dog in your picture? And I guess me and her were talking about dogs back and forth. And I think we gotten so close that I'm pretty sure I probably can get a free table over there now.
Silent Shred has 3 cats and 3 ball pythons.
Brian's a bipolar ball python.
Those ball
that could be very deadly.
They
that
try
could
to
be
eat the cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say. That could be.
So who are
be a
you
messy
guys?
situation.
You guys out in California a lot, or are you guys? I don't even know.
So
No,
I don't know about.
I've actually never been to California.
Yeah, I know, and I told him that he needs to freaking go. He
Well,
does.
excuse me, I live across the damn U.S.
He needs. He's a hermit. I told him that when I get up there, we're gonna take a road trip.
I am not a hermit.
I'm gonna take him to.
Douglas
You don't
mentioned-
know me.
Yeah,
You don't know me.
I do, girlfriend.
But you got to come out. I'm in Sacramento, and we have Sinister Creatures Con, which is a big
I have a
convention.
I used to have a friend up there, and he was a cool person at first, and then he kind of got a little rude, and then
That's fascinating, but let's talk about the movie.
I want to talk about you, Brian.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got about 5 minutes left, so let's touch on Early Morning Com. It's on Kickstarter. There's a bunch of affordable perks. I haven't personally had a chance to look at it yet, but I know on Kickstarter, the Flu got it. You were talking about the DVD, $15 or more on that to get the 2 DVDs. And if you want to expand on any more perks you have for the campaign on Kickstarter, and
the Crazy Fat Ethel and Truly Madly Blu-rays, that ends tomorrow night at 9:00, and it's not on there. That's just if you hear it on here, if you see that on my Facebook wall where I did a status, it's not actually on there. You have to go on there, and there's a spot where it says just back the film because you want to or because you believe in it. And it says, I think it says $10, but you can add a different amount in there. And if you do the $15 or more, then I'm sending people the 2 Blu-rays, the Crazy Fat Ethel and
Truly Madly
and the Crazy Fat Ethel Blu-rays.
I think that we should also send like a sticker or something.
I'll let you do that.
Okay, we'll also add like a little sticker in there. We'll add like a little sticker in there. It's not really much, but you know.
Actually, right now I don't have any stickers, and I plan on sending these out, like in the next couple days. So it'll probably just be them because it takes time to order stickers, and we do have them. We are going to have them because there is a perk where you can get the Early Morning Com Blu-ray, a sticker, T-shirt, and maybe a special thanks. I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I think there's a $30 perk for a Blu-ray and a.
Hey, tell them what the $1,000 perk is.
That's the highest perk. It just allows you. Well, it gives you the whole merchandise pack, and you are listed as a producer on the film. For giving that money to help create the film, you help produce the film in a pretty big way, in my opinion. $1,000 is a lot of money to many people, and that amount of money is not easy to part with. So. If you're gonna part with that, I'm gonna say you helped me produce my film because I'm using that $1,000 to feed my crew or gas money or props or paying a composer, or there's so many things.
Right, or paying Lynn or something, or as you said, making sure everything we keep everyone fed, make sure that everyone is basically we I guess we could say happy, because we want to make sure that the crew that we have don't leave unhappy. We want to make sure that they're satisfied, they're happy, as well as the people that we're doing this for, that are donating money.
He's so nice, isn't he? You'll learn.
It's really cool that you guys are doing it. Seems like you got some really cool perks, and you guys are real determined to make this movie happen.
And we're willing to
Lynn Lowry being in it.
The movie's happening. It would just be nice. It would be nice to have the extra help to, you know, make it maybe a little better, you know.
So I like the way you packaged that, you know, where you said that the movie is going to get made, but
it's just
the
it's just a
extra
little
money,
boost,
yeah,
you know, a little boost. And you know, I think that now I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Brian about it, but I think that anyone who donated and whoever, you know, the money gets sent back to, if we don't make the goal, I think that we should still do something special for them for putting their effort in and sending it. And
Well, I've had many of the people who like donated larger sums of money. 'Cause they've talked to me about it. They say, hey, I'm gonna, you know, donate this to the campaign, and I tell them, I'm like, well, it's an all or nothing campaign, so you know, all the backers get refunded if we don't
it is
reach our
not cheap
goal.
at all,
And
Silent Shred.
yeah, and they told me that, you know, they'll just if we don't reach the goal on Kickstarter, they'll just PayPal me the money for the film. So if it doesn't reach, which $5,000 is not a big goal for a campaign like this,
Or like something
so
independent.
yeah, and
No, it's more than reasonable to try. I mean, that's about, you know, that's not a lot of money to get just
right,
pre-production.
yeah,
I was shocked when
I've seen people, and this, like, no offense to anybody that does this, but when I see somebody who says they're making a 15-minute short film and their goal is to raise like $200,000 for their 15-minute short film, I'm like, are you submitting this to the Oscars or something? I mean, what the hell do you need $200,000 to make a 15-minute short film for? But
probably
anyway,
Yeah, well, you know, some people can do it on a low budget, and I mean, $200,000 for a 15-minute film seems like a lot. But guys, I gotta get going. Unfortunately, it's been awesome. I try to keep everything about an hour. Check out Early Morning Com on Kickstarter. I'm sure if you reach out to Doug or Brian, they'll get back to you, let you know if you guys are looking to invest into a film, and probably doing something really cool if you guys have a little bit, you know, a nice donation you want to do and help them get this film made. Thanks, Kevin, for jumping in and co-hosting.
Thank you for letting me in.
Check out the Grim and Bloody show podcast, and good luck, guys, and congratulations to your Kickstarter. And I really hope you guys meet that $5,000 goal. And again, chat, thank you guys so much. If it wasn't for you guys, these shows wouldn't be nearly as fun. And I appreciate all you guys. Until next time, peace out.
thank you for having me. And
More than welcome.
thank you.
You're welcome, Brian.